Last season was a good one. The game's on the up and up. This year it'll be even better. True, we've lost some giants. They were a credit to the game. But we've also found some young'uns. They promise to be the same. That's what the big game's all about. It happens every year. We lose a few of our heroes, but find others who know no fear. We see them give it all they know. We see them give it their best shot. It's whether I'm known or famous. You gotta give it all you got. That season was a good one. We saw a big man walking tall. But who will it be this year to collect the greatest prize of all?
This afternoon's Stones bitter clash, OKR versus Saints, 6th of December 1987. Saints being led out today, captain still Shane Cooper. Back to the Stones bitter league after 3 successive weeks in the John Player competition. So I'll just run through the teams for you now. Saints first, of course. 1 Vivers, 2 McCormick, 3 Lachlan, 4 Elia, 5 Quirk, 6 Tanner, 7 Cooper, 8 Burke, 9 Groves, 10 Evans, 11 Farber, 12 Haggerty, 13 Platt, 14 Holding and 15 Neal. The OKR side, number 1 Fairburn, 2 Clark, 3 Fletcher, 4 Mortimer, 5 Steve Smith, 6 Mike Smith, 7 Parker, 8 Beale, 9 Rudd, 10 Emer, 11 Burton, 12 Ryan, 13 Gordon Smith, with substitutes Hogan and Watkinson. Well, Neil Holding coming through his first match back after 2 nasty injuries, after an A-team run out at Mosey Road versus OKR, which Saints A won 22-12, and Neil Holding scored one of the tries in that game. And he's on the substitutes bench today, probably Alex Murphy giving him a run out this afternoon. Anyway, thanks once again for joining us. It's your Saints Rugby League action team of Brian Pears and Ron Hoof. It's the last time we'll be at Craven Park. They go into new premises for next season. So it's Saints kick-off. Paul Loughlin kicking deep. KR gather the ball, and Saints in there quickly in the Hull 25. All moving it to the left. Ball coming back to Rudd. The hooker takes it back to George Fairburn, kicks upfield. Phil Beavers well positioned, gathers the ball safely, drives into the OKR half. Paul Groves from the active half-back position, inside to Paul Farber. Brought down midway between the halfway and the Hull 25. Saints spreading it to the right. Haggerty gives the dummy, beats one, but number 8 Beale, Malcolm Beale, bangs him to the ground. Groves again, dummy half, brings it blindside. Tony Burke coming through from deep. Tremendous forward this Burke. 3-man OKR tackle, brings him to the ground. Peter Mortimer, Mike Smith in there with Chris Burton. Ball being pinched off from Dave Tanner by number 13 Gordon Smith. OKR drive it away. Rudd again. Saints penalised for offside. 1.5 minutes gone of the game. OKR get the first penalty of the game. Saints being ruled offside. Number 3, Mike Fletcher, with the second part of the penalty conversion, finds touch on the Saints 25. steps up to play the ball. OKR bringing it left, but number 8 there, Beale, coming through from deep. Rudd at the dummy half. Number 12 there is the foil, Glenn Ryan. It's OKR trying to put it together, spreading it right. Wayne Parker there trying to get through, no way through for him. Haggerty and Andy Platt. So it's OKR again putting the pressure on, going for that OKR right corner. Parker onto Gordon Smith. Mike Smith coming through. Saints tackling up there. It's the last tackle of this set of 6. 20 yards from Saints line. And to Wayne Parker going for the drop goal. Yes, right through the uprights. That's just on the 3rd minute. And number 7, Wayne Parker, kicks a drop goal. OKR in the lead, 1-0. Paul Loughlin restarts. Good deep kick. Paul Groves and Roy Haggerty in there at the tackle. Little chip kick through, all on. Saints man gathers it. Gordon Smith or Wayne Parker trying a little chip kick through. Saints man gathered it. Rather fortunate bounce for Saints, but Farber there driving through. Groves bringing it right onto Shane Cooper, Andy Platt. Subject of some rather ferocious tackling last week's game, Andy Platt, but fit and ready. Stuart Evans, big signing from Neath. Goes down with the ball. Roy Haggerty off 1 foot, looking to release. Flicks it back to Tony Burke. Saints keep it alive. Burke going diagonal run. Over to the Saints left wing. Dave Tanner. Bringing it right. Shane Cooper. Up and under. George Fairburn takes it safely. Comes away with the ball. PG Thompson, number 5. Steve Smith, but he's bundled into touch. Paul Loughlin and Beavers well in over there. First scrum of the match going down just outside the Rovers 25. Shane Cooper to feed. Ball going with the feed. Cooper comes away with it. On to Dave Tanner. Very pacey lad. Early season signing from Fylde Rugby Union Club. Beavers in with the line. On to Andy Platt. Approaching the KR 25. Ely acting half-back. Spreading it right. Lofted past Haggerty. Just beats Haggerty. Paul Loughlin comes back. Cleans up. Tidies up just short of the halfway line. Haggerty again. Going on his own. Beats one. Spreads it left. Shane Cooper. Barber. On to Dave Tanner. Looking for the gap. Flicks it up there. Both teams just weighing each other up in these early minutes. Just 6 minutes gone. And the score 1-0 to KR. That 3rd minute drop goal from Parker. Last tackle for Saints. Groves bringing it to Cooper. Over to Beavers. Inside pass to Andy Platt. Loose ball. Rovers clean it up. Would have been the changeover. But it's number 4 there. Peter Mortimer, one of the Mortimer brothers. Super tackling from Saints there. Dave Tanner and Andy Platt. Bang Zukemmer down. Chris Rudd trying to go through. And Andy Platt being called out for something he's seen in the tackle. Chris Rudd, the injured party. Referee Whitfield speaking to Andy Platt. Well, as you know, we played Hull at home last week in the players' 3rd round. We won 20 points to 16 with referee Ken Drew from Castleford, and as we all know, his refereeing and the touch judge, all the officials left a lot to be desired. We're now through to the semi-final stages, where we've been drawn against Oldham, which will be played at Wigan on the 19th of December. So it's Mike Fletcher going for goal for this penalty award for obviously an offence on Chris Rudd, the whole KR hooker. So it's Mike Fletcher stepping up, nowhere near with that. Saints going to gather the ball. Kevin McCormick over here on the left wing, Paul Loughlin and Roy Haggerty, but Saints now driving it upfield, still bogged down in the 25. Groves in the customary position at dummy half, misses out Paul Farber onto Tony Burke. Good forward this Burke. Quick play the ball from Saints. Stuart Evans this time. Driving through, still going Evans. Saints with a couple of drives and then going to spread it out. Ball from Groves back to Beavers. The high ball upfield, George Fairburn, seasoned campaigner. He's up with it. He kicks immediately back to Phil Beavers. Up to his legs, he gathers it. So Beavers coming over to the right wing. On to Kevin McCormick. Coming in field, goes well. Loose ball. Beavers in for it, but I think the Rovers man has it. I think it's Mike Fletcher. Yes, Fletcher comes up with it. Dave Beale, acting half-back, number 12 with it now. Glenn Ryan, Andy Platt and Paul Farber in there, bang him to the ground, but KR spend it to the right. Mike Smith going through, Zook Emmer on his right, but he just couldn't flick the ball out. Chris Rudd now. On to number 7, Wayne Parker, grubbers for touch. Phil Beavers well positioned as ever, coming cross Beavers, but KR man quickly up there. Parker follows his kick and brings Beavers down. Stuart Evans in possession. Ryan there brings him down. The ball going back there. The KR spec is calling for a knock on, but the ball did go back. Referee Whitfield signifying play on. Groves again. One of Groves' characteristic outrageous dummies. Change of direction. KR quickly up. Roy Haggerty. Up and under, all on. Hit the KR man, I think. He breaks through and he's brought down 10 yards inside Saints half. KR spreading it left. Big prop forward, Malcolm Beale. Forward Haggerty and Evans finally put him to ground, but he's made a good 20-yard run there. Gordon Smith spreads a good ball out to Mike Smith. Evades Tanner's tackle, spreads it inside to Beale. Gordon Smith coming back again. Ex-Kiwi scrum half, this lad, Gordon Smith, taking up the loose forward berth and showing his class. On to Chris Burton. International Pac-Man taken down by Mark Elia. Just short of the Saints 25. OKR putting all the pressure on Saints. Well, the ball adjudged to a touch of Saints play there. Another 6 tackles being awarded to KR. 10 minutes gone of this first half and just 1-0 in KR's favour. A Beale there. What a tremendous tackle there. Andy Platt, you can bet. Yes, Andy Platt. In with the shoulder and gets his man down. Hemer coming through. Shane Cooper this time and Andy Platt. KR spreading it to the right. Gordon Smith. The hub of things off Smith. You can see the most of the play revolving around him. But Mark Elia takes the man down there. And KR again spreading it left. Mike Smith. Change of direction. Kicks crossfield. Stuart Evans takes it safely. Brought down just at inside his own 25. Les Quirk now acting half-back. Going to move it right. Into Tony Burke. Groves bringing it crossfield to Roy Haggerty. Quick hands there. Dave Tanner sees the gap, tried to flick it round the man. Got some pace on him, this Tanner, if he can get in the clear. Loughlin, quick ball there on Haggerty again. Off 1 foot again. 3-man KR tackle brings him down. Malcolm Beale, Zook Emmer. 2 of them, but the ball back to Loughlin now. Kicks upfield. Good kick from Loughlin, but taken by number 2, Gary Clark. Les Quirk finally gets him, bounces him to the ground. It's KR in the in their own half slightly. Spending it right. Fairburn coming up from deep. Fairburn beats the defence. Super tackle there from Beavers. Fairburn loses the ball. It comes back. Judged by referee Whitfield, but what a tackle on Beavers. Fairburn coming up, linking up, beating the Saints defence. But KR still in possession. The ball with Emer. Chris Rodak in half back. Spreading it to the right. Gordon Smith. Crossfield again onto Parker. Platt, Burke and Groves bring him to the ground just outside their own 25. Rudd again onto Mike Smith. Gordon Smith. The ball going loose temporarily, but it's the last tackle of this set of 6. 4 overs. Ball back to Parker. Going for a rather far out drop goal, but Phil Beavers gathers it safely. Feeds on to Kevin McCormack. Up this wing. Coming in field, McCormack. Looking for support. Flicks it up. Support was a little lax coming up, but Malcolm Beale very late getting back. He gathers the loose ball, so it's Saints giving OKR the chance, putting them back in an attacking position. They're in Saints 25. Gordon Smith, crossfield now. Mike Smith. Solid Saints tackling, and Farber comes up with the ball. 3-man Saints tackling there. Paul Farber coming away with it. The Saints back in possession. Stuart Evans. Well, Saints just not backing the man up at present. Stuart Evans coming through on the burst. Tony Burke, but he's on his own again. Roy Haggerty now, lofted pass over to Quirk, takes it well. Just kept out of touch there, Les Quirk. Mark Healy acting half back up to Beavers. Rubbers for touch, yes, and finds touch 10 yards inside the KR half. Just 14 minutes now of this first half gone. Rovers with a slender 1-0 lead, a 3rd minute Parker drop goal. Just the second scrum of the match. As you can see, it's been pretty open play. It's going to be Parker to feed, midway between the halfway and the Hull KR 25. The ball going right through the scrum, but Hull KR being penalised. Got an offence, feeding. Obviously, Wayne Parker accused of feeding by referee Whitfield. So Phil Beaver steps up for the second part of this penalty conversion. Finds touch virtually on the KR 25. For Paul Groves to restart. Planned move here from Saints. Groves again with the run around. On to Cooper, inside to Platt. Brought down by number 11, Chris Burton. Season campaigner, this Burton. Dave Tannen. Brought down on the KR 25. OKR wrenched the ball from his grip. Ball now with Cooper. Is he going to wave another 6 or 6 tackles on? Saints with an overlap. Beavers coming up. Gets the ball out there, does well. Beavers. Saints still on the attack. He's not given any signal, referee Whitfield. Tony Burke coming from deep. 3-man KR tackle, holds firm. Saints gradually inching the way towards the KR line. Groves back pass to Farber. The ball going down. KR man drops on it. As I said, a peg down in their own 25, and it's up to Saints to keep him in this position. So KR again, bringing it left into a big prop, Zukima. Evans and Andy Platt bring him to ground, but they bring the ball back to Fairburn. He kicks it upfield. Les Quirk and Phil Beavers just getting a bit tied up there. Well, Beavers is, you can see there, I think it was Beavers' ball, but they both went for it. And causing Phil Beavers to knock on. So it's going to be a scrum down midway between the halfway and the Saints 25 this time. Ball coming out KR side. Spreading it quickly. Fairburn linking up, but Beavers has his man. Mike Smith going through. Looks onto Wayne Parker, looks to hint of a forward pass there, but he goes over. The try's allowed. Well, that pass from Mike Smith onto Wayne Parker, a hint of a forward pass, but it's allowed to go on. Referee Whitfield lets it go. So Hull KR edging further into the lead, 5 points to nil, with Fletcher with the easiest of conversions. Right in front of the sticks. Should be no problem for this lad. There he goes, right between the sticks, so 7 points to nil. Hull KR in the lead, and nearly 18 minutes of the first half gone. Rudd in the customary half-back position, going on his own, gaining valuable yardage, brought down 5-yard shot of the halfway line, and KR with the tails up, spreading it left onto Chris Burton. Solid Saints tackling Farber and Platt, forcing back another 5 yards, banging to the ground. Well, he's lost the ball there in his efforts to get up and play it. Quickly spotted by referee Whitfield. So Strum down just 10 yards inside the KR half. Shane Cooper to feed, but it goes against the head. Well, Hull KR with most of possession in this half. George Fairburn coming through, pushes Dave Tanner out of the way. Tremendous aggressive full-back, this Fairburn. Season campaigner, as we said. Zukima there coming through, but Tanner and Burke stop him. There's the ball onto Malcolm Beale, driving towards the Saints 25. Hull KR putting all the pressure on at present. Gordon Smith looking for the gap, but Haggerty and Evans close it down. The ball goes loose. Well, waved on again, but that never touched the Saints man. It's so Saints now being subjected to a lot of pressure by the Hull KR outfit. Number 12, second row, Glenn Ryan bursting through there. Peter Mortimer coming through on his left. He couldn't release the ball, but Gordon Smith now onto Chris Burton. Well, they're running from deep, these KR forwards, but solid tackling from Saints. Lachlan Haggerty banging down there. Lofted pass from Gordon Smith over to Mike Smith. The up and under, Beavers well positioned. The ball hanging in the air. Beavers gathers it safely, but Saints subject to a hell of a lot of pressure. Quirk there from acting half-back, bursting through some feeble KR defence. Going through, but finally brought down 10 yards inside, outside Saints 25, I should say. Andy Platt now, looking to release the ball left to Mark Elia. Couldn't let it go this time. The Saints driving towards the halfway. Just brought down 10 yards short of the halfway. Shane Cooper gives the dummy, comes crossfield, it's taken down there quickly. Mark Elia coming in field for action, takes it left to Roy Haggerty, onto Paul Farber. Bill Beavers linking up, out to Les Quirk, chips it upfield. Quirk, but it's too deep, I think. The ball finally running dead. It's going to be a 25-yard tap restart. Gordon Smith quickly takes it. It's a big drop forward, Malcolm Beale. Brought down 10 yards outside the Hull KR 25. Rudd going from the acting half-back position. Didn't gain much yardage. Tony Burke spots him, bangs him to the ground. Gordon Smith again. Hull KR bringing it to the left. Zukemmer onto Glenn Ryan, number 12. Super tackle from Saints there. Holding firm. KR spreading it right well. An outrageous forward pass there. Well forward. You see that right in line with our camera, but being adjudged to be okay. But the ball kicked at the Saints. He's waved the tackles off again. KR getting most of the luck in this opening half of the first half. Farber in there, solid tackle with captain Shane Cooper. Gordon Smith again, bringing it blindside. Looking for the way through, Tanner and Evans this time. The ball's loose and Saints have the ball. Evans, I think it is, comes up with it.
Behind him.
Shane Cooper acting out back. Saints taking it left. Tony Burke. Well, Saints just a little bunched at present. Tony Burke trying his hardest to get through the support's a little lax temporarily. We hope. Groves onto Haggerty. Into Farber. The burst is on from Farber. Flicks it up to Andy Platt. Well, good play from Saints there. Quick hands, Haggerty, Farber and Platt. But Saints in a commanding position in the 25. Mark Elia going through. Probably his first touch of the ball, but he flicks it inside. Well taken by Cooper. Saints now lofted pass onto Beavers. Over to the right, and again to Laughlin. Takes it well. McCormick on his outside. He gives it McCormick. Going in the corner. Can he touch it down? No. Banged in touch. Just in the right-hand corner. Brilliant quick hands from Saints. That shows what can be achieved when they put it together. It's been mostly OKR. It's 23 minutes of this first half gone. It's been all OKR. But it's one of Saints' rare excursions into the OKR half. Nearly resulting in a try. Scrum down about 15 yards from KR line. OKR to feed, and they come away with the ball. Gordon Smith coming from acting half-back. Groves takes him down. Evans in support, and Roy Haggerty completing the tackle. Chris Rudd brings the ball back to Fairburn. He's going to kick up field. Phil Beavers well positioned as ever. The bounce is kind to him. Beavers comes away, brought down 10 yards, 5 yards inside the KR half. Mark Elia from acting half-back. Stuart Evans steps up in the dummy half position, brings it right to Shane Cooper. Farber's the foil onto Haggerty. Flicks it out to Cooper. Characteristic of Roy Haggerty, one-handed, and brings him down, but three-man KR tackle forced Cooper back another 10 yards. They really got the tails up. Both teams in mid-table. Rovers in 6th position and Saints in 7th position in the Stones Bitter League Championship. Phil Beavers now moving up, linking up, change of direction. Over to Mark Elia. Last tackle of this set of 6 for Saints. 25 minutes of the first half gone. Paul Groves, little chip kick through, but KR man well positioned. Wayne Parker gathers the ball safely. Gordon Smith onto Zook Emma. A driving run from Emma, temporarily stopped by Paul Groves. Haggerty quickly in there to complete the tackle. Malcolm Beale. Groves takes him down with Haggerty in support. Chris Rudd spreading it to the right. Rovers taking it over to the right. Mike Smith changing direction inside to Wayne Parker. Beats the Saints tackle. Another outrageously forward pass. The ball going into touch, but I think referee Whitfield signalling the forward pass. It's a scrum down, just 5 yards outside the Saints 25. It's going to be Shane Cooper to feed. The ball coming away with the feed.
Please return to your vehicle immediately.
Cooper onto Andy Platt. Ducking through the KR defence, temporarily beating them, but Paul Farber stepping up, going on his own from the acting halfback. Nearly made the burst there. Farber beat Emer, but brought down right on the halfway. Cooper again, loop movement with Groves. Lofted pass to Laughlin. Outside to McCormick, beats the man up the wing, just stepping into touch there. Unlucky there, not a lot of room to work, Kevin McCormick, but a lovely time ball from McCormick, from Laughlin onto McCormick, just putting a foot into touch. Good break there from Saints, and it's a scrum down 5 yards outside the whole KR 25 with Wayne Parker to feed. The ball going with the feed. Okay, just cleaning up on the scrums, 4-2 at present. Gordon Smith acting half-back, spreading it right. Mike Smith. Fairburn linking up. So Tony Burt there, quickly up there. Bounces him to the ground. Chris Rudd. Gordon Smith spreading it to the right. Just breaking through the Saints defence there. Brought down 10 yards short of the halfway line. Gordon Smith again, master tactician. On to Chris Burton, coming through from deep. Burke, Tanner and Groves quickly in there. Gordon Smith again to Mike Smith, the ball being knocked forward. As I said, OK are putting plenty of pressure on the Saints in this early half, in this first half I should say. But Shane Cooper to feed, ball coming out Saints side. Phil Beavers linking up, second it left, Elia. Well, a couple of seasons ago when Elia was here, well, it was last season, before he went back home, Mark Elia scored a hat-trick here for one of Saints' wins. Cooper, Groves, loop movement with Cooper. Groves changes direction. Ball to Evans, but it's all on. The Hull KR man drops on it. Referee Whitfield comes on the Saints side. So Zukima trying to burst through. Tony Burke brings him down. Paul Groves completes the tackle. Rudd spreading it left. Gordon Smith again. Burton coming through from deep. Well, the second rowers, Burton and Ryan, both running off this Gordon Smith today. He plays the ball to Rudd. He goes on his own. Haggerty has him. Haggerty, the man marking Burton, had to play the ball. Quickly in there was Roy Haggerty that time. Beale brings it back to Gordon Smith. Forward pass again. Outrageous forward pass, but OKR keep it moving. Gordon Smith still in the action. Feeds it inside to number 5. That's another Smith. That's Steve Smith. It's the last tackle now. OKR gaining a good 30 yards there off a forward pass for Wayne Parker. Well, a backward up and under there. But they've got to tackle the OKR man, and it's the changeover now. So it's a changeover. Saints play it quickly. Bend it to the right. Groves. On to Burt coming through. Saints just lacking in idea at present. Rovers with a 7 points to nil lead. Well, the ball coming out there. Quirk gathering it, so is he waving them off again? Looks though it's come off a KR man, but not being ruled so. Evans brought down 10 yards short of the halfway. Groves at dummy half, brings it right onto Roy Haggerty. Change of direction onto Paul Farber. Doing well, some prodding runs. Farber still stood up, looking to release. Well, just 10 minutes remaining of this first half. Rovers with a 7 points to nil lead. Saints eager to get some points on the board. Cooper inside to Stuart Evans. Beavers stepping up, linking up. It's the last tackle for Saints in this set of 6. Cooper, Saints running it. Andy Platt taking it crossfield. Inside to Mark Elia. There's the gap. Elia show his pace. Still going Elia. Gets out to the tackle. On to Beavers. On to Kevin McCormick. He kicks it on. But the ball going dead. Kick dead by Saints. A 25-yard tap restart to OKR being ruled. KR take it quickly. The second row forward there, Glenn Ryan taking it right. Super tackle there from Saints. And Mark Elia had him down. He was on the ground, but he got up, carried on playing. Referee waves it on. But the touch judge on the far side is in there for something in the tackle there with Paul Groves, Andy Platt. Tackling number 3, I think it was, Mike Fletcher. A penalty being awarded to Hull KR. So it's Mike Fletcher stepping up there, kicks for touch. Finds touch midway between the halfway and the Saints 25, so it's KR on the attack again, bringing it left. Burton coming through. Good forward this Burton, international Pac-Man. Had a good few seasons up here at Craven Park with the KR outfits, but 12 Glenn Ryan coming through, knocking on as he picks the ball up. About 8 minutes remaining of the second half. The Rovers still in a 7 points to nil lead. Saints win the ball from the scrum. Loughlin bursting through, just taken into touch by this left-wing partnership of Steve Smith and Peter Mortimer. Well, Saints, both substitutes there on the ground, with Neil Holding coming on for number 6, Dave Tanner, and Jonathan Neal coming on for number 10, Stuart Evans. Obviously, Alex Murphy putting his substitutes on early in the game to see if we can inject a little bit of pace into this Saints outfit. Not been much penetration at all, but Holding straight there in the action as Saints come away from the scrum. Over to the left, Mark Elia now, diagonal run, showing his pace. Elia, can he get there? Brilliant try from Elia. Well, look at that, straight from the substitutions coming on. A scrum down right in front of us here, just inside the KR half. Taking it over to the left, Neil Holding brought it away, and Elia showing his class there. 33 minutes of the second half, and I beg your pardon, of the first half, and just what Saints needed. Mark Elia going over for a try right under the Paul Loughlin shouldn't have any problem with this goal. Put the Saints right back in the hunt now. 7 points to 4 at present. Just a formality, I think, for Loughlin here. Lost it right between the sticks. Loughlin's 36th goal of the season, and Saints back in the hunt with 6 points there, so 7 points to 6. KR in the lead. For number 3, right centre, Mike Fletcher kicks off there. The ball taken by Beavers. Runs hard towards the 25. Groves goes on to Jonathan Neal. Big lad this Neal, only 18 years of age. Big Cumbrian lad from the Kells club. Loose ball there. Groves loses the ball right on the Saints 25. So KR back, putting the pressure on Saints. And Saints are ruled offside. Well, referee Whitfield coming over here and pointing to Paul Loughlin. Ruled him offside. Well, they're going to have a go for goal here, I would imagine. Mike Fletcher coming crossfield. He's going to have a go for goal. Just 5 minutes remaining of this first half. The Rovers with a slender 1 point lead. 7 points to 6 at present. Mike Fletcher stepping up for this conversion. A penalty awarded by referee Whitfield, ruling Paul Loughlin in an offside position as Hull KR were playing the ball. Fletcher now stepping up. Looks good. Yes, right between the uprights. So just 36 minutes of this first half gone. Fletcher with a penalty goal. Extends KR's lead to 9 points to 6 with just 4 minutes remaining. Neil Holding now to kick off. As I say, this is Neil Holding's first senior game. He came through the A-team on Friday, okay, but it's his first game back after being injured in the Lancashire Cup first round at Lee on the 13th of September with an outrageous off-the-ball tackle by Kerr, for which the man just received a 3-match ban and a £20 fine for bringing the game into disrepute, and Neil Holden coming away with a fractured jaw and a fractured thumb. It's OKR just getting outside their own 25. Paul Farber and Jonathan Neal in there quickly at the action. The ball back to Fairburn. Brings it over to Wayne Parker. Kicks it upfield. Bouncing for touch. Les Quirk gathers it safely. Good lad, this Quirk. Saints leading try scorer with 9 touchdowns. Already scored 4 for Barrow before signing for Saints in a £65,000 move, a £55,000 move, I should say, earlier in the season. Neil Holding into Tony Burke, but the ball going down. Just couldn't gather that ball, Burke. Uncharacteristic of him. But OKR back in possession. Brought down midway between their own 25 and the halfway. Chris Burton now. Farber in there. I think, Andy Platt it was, and Shane Cooper. Chris Rudd, acting halfback, coming away on his own. Haggerty quickly in there. Eagle-eyed Haggerty, he spots him, bangs him to the ground. Steve Smith, acting halfback. On to Wayne Parker, crossfield to Zook Emmer. Good forward this Emmer, big strong lad. Brought down just short of the halfway, and it's the last tackle of this set of 6 for KR. Back to Wayne Parker, Rubbers crossfield for touch. Successfully finds it, 10 yards, pressure on the Saints, trying to get a score before the half-time hooter. Just 2 minutes remaining of this first half. Lofted pass there onto Fairburn, linking up with his backs. Platts, Farber and Mark Healy over there. Jonathan Neal comes in. The man finally bundled to the ground. Road acting halfback. Luke movement with Gordon Smith. Zukima coming through. Groves has him. Beavers up there to help. Gordon Smith again. Well, he's the hub of all these moves. You can see Parker going for the drop goal. Well, as Eddie Waring would say, that was a flapper. To Loughlin coming away with the ball. Steve Smith and Ryan bundle him to ground. Farber, change of direction. Having a good strong game so far, Farber. Subjected this KR defence to some penetrating runs. Unfortunately, Saints haven't been in the KR half as much as we'd like them to be, but we managed to get one try and a goal on the board there. It's just trailing at present 9 points to 6. Neil Holding. Rubbers for touch. Successfully finds it there, yes. Midway between the KR 25 and the halfway line. Well, it's all on the 40 minutes in this first half. Probably be the last scrum. As we said, it's going to be Wayne Parker to feed, and the ball coming out to KR side. Just cleaning up there, 6-5 on the scrums. KR. Gordon Smith again. Coming crossfield. Breaks through. Temporarily has his ankles tapped. Onto number 5, Steve Smith. Super tackle there. Brilliant tackle from Les Quirk. What a cover tackle that was. Coming from his own left wing over to the right wing. A try-saving tackle if ever I saw one. Well, there's the half-time hooter. And Saints going in down at half-time. 9 points to 6. Saints points coming from Mark Healy, a try in the 33rd minute and a Paul Loughlin conversion. The half-time score 9 points to 6 in Hull KR's favour. A 3rd minute Parker drop goal, then a 16th minute Parker try and Fletcher goal. Then Saints coming back and making 2 substitutions in the 32nd minute, and then in the 33rd minute a Mark Healy a try, a brilliant individual effort going on right under the sticks, and Paul Loughlin converted it. 7 points to 6, and then the 36 minutes into the first half, Paul Loughlin being adjudged offside and Fletcher converting the penalty, so 9 points to 6 the half-time score, and it's Hull KR to kick off. Shane Cooper takes it, flicks it back onto Paul Loughlin. Steps out to one, drives towards the 25. Obviously, Alec Murphy will have had a word with him, a strong word at half-time. Saints been a little lax in the first half. It's been all OKR, apart from that individual effort by Mark Healy. It had to be scored, and he scored it. Well, the first penalty of the second half going Saints' way. OKR penalised for offside. Phil Beaver's stepping up there. Finds touch 15 yards inside OKR half. Paul Groves quickly up there. Plan move on here. Faber, Platt and Burke is the three-man. Roy Haggerty coming through. Jonathan Neal on his left, he couldn't release. Jonathan Neal steps up for acting half-back, going on his own. Zukima and Chris Rudd get in there with Chris Burton. Bang him to the ground, just short of their own 25. Holding, loop movement with Cooper. Pass over to Platt. Up to the loose ball going down. KR man on it. Gordon Smith onto Chris Burton. Jonathan Neal, good tackle from him there, in with the shoulder. Round the waist and slides down, brings him down, round the legs. No problem. Mike Smith to number 3. Mike Fletcher, well, nothing in that. Oohs and ahs from the OKR crowd, but nothing in that there. Fletcher plays it. Chris Rudd over to Gordon Smith, the playmaker, takes it left to Wayne Parker, kicks it upfield. The ball going dead. It's going to be a 25-yard restart from a tap restart for Saints. Paul Groves quickly takes it. Tony Burke now in possession. Mike Smith takes him down, Gordon Smith with him. Neil holding now, taking it right. Shane Cooper, good lofted ball onto Loughlin. Watch his pace up there, just as his ankle's tapped. Flicks the ball up to Kevin McCormick, but as he was going down, the OKR man gets on the loose ball. Chris Burton now. Well, it's been a to-in and throwing game. It's been a good game here at Craven Park. At 9 points to 6, anything can happen. The last season versus OKR, we won away 36 points to 4, and at home 44-22. We've already beaten OKR at home this season in the opening match, 31-16. So just see how it goes. Well, Les Quirk did well to gather that ball from a Mark Elia. Pass on, a flick on. Quick hands was essential, and Elia did the right thing. But Les Quirk taking a knock in that tackle. Neil holding onto Paul Farber, straightening up, looking for the gap. But solid tackling there. Burton, Ryan and Chris Rudd well in there. Groves onto Roy Haggerty. See the gap, Haggerty out to Quirk. Brilliant pass from Haggerty. Let's see what Quirk can do. He goes in field, and again Quirk still going. Shea Cooper with him. Oh, super tackle there. Number 12, I think it was. Ryan, well back there when Saints score up to Cert. Andy Platt, Loughlin, onto McCormick, into the corner. Goes well, McCormick, keeps in field. Super try there from McCormick, that's what it's all about. Quick hands from Saints. Over in the corner comes about 20 yards infield, making the kick slightly easier for Paul Loughlin. Loughlin lines up there, yes, slots it over. His 37th goal of the season and his second goal of this afternoon's match. So Saints in the lead now for the first time in this game. 12 points to 9. Just 5 minutes of the second half gone. I've said some stern talking at half time. Saints lacking in penetration in the first half. Only got in KR's half a couple of times. They made it pay once, but let's hope for more to come. Neil Holding there. He put a bit of pace into this back line. Some penetration, that's what we're lacking. There's a scrum down midway between the Saints 25 and the halfway. Parker to feed. Penalty going Saints' way. Differential penalty to Saints. Okay, Dummy to go down. Saints fine touch. 10 yards inside the KR half. Planned move on here again. Neil Holding there in possession. Coming across field onto Groves. Giving the dummy, but KR don't take the dummy. Gordon Smith and Glenn Ryan banging to the ground. Neil Holding, change of direction, infield to Tony Burke. Looking for the support, Haggerty's there. Flicks it round the man. No, dummied me there, Haggerty. I thought he was going to release it round the man, but Roy Haggerty brought down right on the halfway. Cooper, little chip kick through, Elia following it. Gathers it safely. Infield, loose ball. Good idea from Saints there, obviously a planned move, didn't come off that time. Very unlucky, but KR, George Fairburn coming away, strong full back this lad. Signed from Kelso Rugby Union by Wigan lots of seasons ago, came here, £72,500 record deal at the time. But he's real aggressive full back, George, he likes getting in, linking up and in the thick of the action. But it's all KR in possession. Haggerty bringing him down. Chris Rudd acting half-back, bringing it right. Wayne Parker, little chip kick there. Wayne Parker, yes, little chip kick through. And Saints being penalised there for dragging the man back in his efforts to regather the ball. There was a penalty for OKR. Mike Fletcher places it on the ground to kick for touch. Finds touch, 10 yards from Saints 25. Fletcher to restart, takes it left to Rudd, to Gordon Smith. Well, got a bit bottled up there, Gordon Smith, but brings it left to Mike Fletcher. Les Quirk quickly in. Saints holding the KR back at present. Loose ball there, knock on eventually by Glenn Ryan. There's a scrum down midway between the Saints 25 and the halfway. Les Quirk took a knock in that tackle there. We're used to Shane Cooper. Neil Holding to feed. Cooper gone to his standoff position. That's what they signed him on as. But substitute Neil Holding coming on, replacing Dave Tanner. Holding moving up to the scrum half, and Shane Cooper to the standoff. Shane Cooper now in possession. Loop movement with Groves and Holding, but coming infield to Farber. Farber running onto some nice short balls, some penetrating runs from Farber this afternoon. Groves again. Cooper, lovely ball out to Haggerty. Flicks it inside to Andy Platt. Les Quirk with him. Platt just couldn't get through there. Number 3, Fletcher brings him down. Haggerty scoops it up onto Tony Burke. Space there in the middle, Viva's linking up. Back to Cooper. Cooper change of direction. Feeds inside Jonathan Neal. The ball going down. Just one pass too many there from the Saints. Okay, I got on the loose ball. Gordon Smith again. Taking it left onto number 4, Peter Mortimer. Gordon Smith again, he's the hubby. All play revolves round this little lad, Gordon Smith. So KR spreading it right. Mike Smith, Furburn linking up, coming from deep and coming hard. He comes through Furburn, takes some stopping in full flight. Well, OKR receiving a penalty, midfield, and 5 yards inside the Saints half for an offence that they play the ball, not allowing the OKR man to get up quickly and play the ball. Mike Fletcher's going to step up and have a go for goal. Rovers just trailing by 3 points, 12 points to 9 in Saints' favour, and 10 minutes gone of the second half. As I said earlier this season in the opening match at Knowsley Road, Saints played KR, they won handsomely 31 points to 16 with tries from Mark Elia, 2 of McCormick, Haggerty and Beavers, 5 Paul Loughlin goals, and a Roy Haggerty drop goal. Well, there's Fletcher, a good effort from him. But, as I said, it was 5 yards inside the Saints half and midfield, but he made it count. Just a 1 point deficit now, 11 points to OKR, 12 points to Saints. Both teams mid-table, wanting to get back into winning ways. Obviously Saints in the last 3 weeks, as I've said, being tied up with the John Player Cup. It's Neil Holding kicks off there. Gordon Smith fumbles the ball, thankfully in his own 25, so it's Saints head and ball. Saints head and ball inside all 25, only about 15 yards from the KR line, so it's essential that we hook the ball here and spread it out and put further points on the board to capitalise on the Hull KR mistake. And the ball there coming out Saints side. Andy Platt working the dummy movement there with Neil Holding. Tony Burke spreading it right. Take it right onto Haggerty. Fix it back to Shane Cooper. Beats one, going on his own, looking for support. Well, referee Whitfield had to think about that, but he finally gave a forward pass right in front of the sticks. So it's going to be a scrum down now, just 5 yards from KR line. It's going to be a Hull KR head and ball with Wayne Parker to feed. Could do with one against the head here, but it comes out KR side. Gordon Smith there again, coming away. Bit of thorn, a constant thorn in the Saints side today. Another try and a goal from Saints there would have certainly sunk this KR outfit. But they're in possession, they're pegged down in their own 25. Lost ball, Saints scoop it up. Tony Burke. Now just have to keep it nice and steady. Nothing fancy now from Saints. Just let the ball do the work. Bring it across field. Neil Holding. Lofted past to Paul Farber, coming from deep, beats one, blitzes inside to Haggerty, in turn he turns and passes on to Cooper, Jonathan Neal, Paul Loughlin takes it, going for the line, brought down under 25 now, straightened up there Loughlin and drove forward. Andy Platt going on his own from the acting half-back position, just 15 yards from this KR line, so it's got to make it pay now. Paul Groves, getting a bit bottled up there, but Jonathan Neal scooping that high ball up. Shane Cooper taking it right. Neil Holding, can he weave his magic? Inside now. Saints to get the ball loose. Neil Holding onto Shane Cooper, looking for support. Loughlin out to McCormick, he's in at the corner. Yes, Saints' persistence pays off, and McCormick goes over for his second try of the afternoon. In the 14th minute, just 10 minutes after his other effort. Seven-point cushion About 10 yards in from the touchline, right on the 25-yard line. Well within Paul Loughlin's capabilities. Already kicked 37 this season. There he goes. No goal. So 16 points to 11 in Saints' favour. But Saints with a 5-point cushion at present. It'd be nice if Paul Loughlin had kicked that goal. But Saints looking alive. Mark Healy now beats one, showing his class. Quirk on his outside. Good. Well, good interception there. Number 2, Gary Clark, international wingman. As Healy was going to pass it out to Quirk, and Clark intercepted. So OKR now. Sukema brought down 10 yards short of the halfway. This road onto Dave Watkinson. Super tackle there. You can bet that's Andy Platt. Certainly is as he gets up, 13 on his back. Super tackle from Platt. Doesn't risk many him with the shoulder, and they certainly know they've been tackled after Platt's got them. OKR now getting a bit bogged up midfield. Not much idea this second half. Saints scoring 10 points in this second half with just the sole reply of an 11th minute Fletcher penalty goal for Hull KR. The last tackle now for Hull KR. The ball kicked upfield directly into touch. Yes, going into touch there on the full, so scrum down. Oh, he's ruling the changeover. That was on the 6th tackle, and infringement, the ball going into touch directly. And with these new rulings, it's the changeover. So Roy Haggerty plays it to Paul Groves, and Jonathan Neal coming from deep. 3-man KR tackle, bangs him down. So Saints now just let the ball do the work. Well, getting a bit bottled up there. Groves looks as though he was taking it to the right. Tony Burke must have shouted for it. Knocked on in the process. And it's going to be a scrum down just 5 yards outside the Hull KR 25. Wayne Parker to feed. The scrum collapses, but the ball comes out Hull KR side. George Fairburn kicks upfield. Andy Platt getting back quickly. Phil Vevers with the attack of Saints. So not back in his position, but Andy Platt gathers that ball safely. Showing his pace there, Andy Platt. Farber from Acton halfback. Drives towards the 25, just brought down short. Another 6 tackles being ruled by referee Whitfield. Obviously the Hull KR man kicking up the play the ball. Neil Holding. On to Tony Burke inside now. Neil Holding again, showing his pace. Lofted ball. Hull KR man intercepts it again. So Hull KR in possession again. Saints mistakes giving them their limited possession in this second half. Going very dull here at Craven Park. Very dark, but coming away with the ball. All on. Saints carry on. Andy Platt. Well, OKR very slow to play the ball. Saints man hooking it round him. Coming away with the ball. Referee Whitfield allowing play to go on. Groves taking it right. Holding. Quick hands there. On to Shane Cooper. OKR defence holding out. Holding out well. Keeping Saints in their own half. Short ball onto Jonathan Neal. Groves again. The Saints bring it to Neil Holding. Short ball on target. Looking for support. There he is coming through. Tony Burke. Tremendous forward this Burke. Takes some pulling down. Saints just want to back up now, and the gaps are coming in the KR defence. Loop movement with Groves and Holding. Onto Les Quirk. Does well to gather it. Takes the tackle. Knock on being ruled. Well, I don't know how he's ruled that. The ball was going back. But he's ordered a scrum down virtually on the halfway line. Wayne Parker to feed for Hull. Ball coming out with the head and ball. Phil Vevers up in the line. Shane Cooper and Vevers finally complete the tackle. George Fairburn moving up to the dummy half position, wants it quickly, plays it left to Zukemmer. Burst through, but Mark Healy has him round the legs. Obviously the urgency from Mulcair needed. Number 12 now, Glenn Ryan. 20 minutes gone of this second half. And still 16 points to 11 in Saints' favour. But little Gordon Smith there again. All spreading it right. On to Fletcher. Chris Burton coming through, but the ball looks as though it's been gone down to ground. A knock-on being ruled by referee Whitfield from Chris Burton. Puts a scrum down 10 yards outside the Saints 25. It's a Saints head and ball. Neil holding to feed. One against the head there again. KR quickly spread it. Onto Fletcher. From the action half-back, Mike Smith. 15 yards from Saints line now. OKR putting all the pressure on. Mike Smith, second it left. Gordon Smith, inside to Zukamer, going for the line. Brought down just short, looking to release. Solid Saints tackling, nulls him out. Bringing it to the right, KR now. Onto Fairburn, linking up. Beats one. Brings it out to Gary Clark. He fumbles the ball. Was a bad ball. From George Fairburn, but the break was on and Clark just couldn't gather it. Scrum down midway between the Saints try line and the Saints 25. With Neil holding to feed. The scrum collapses before Neil Holding can get the ball in. Trying to get them to reform, just parting them. Neil Holding, the ball in, comes out against the head. No mistake this time for Clark. He's in at the corner. Well, 22 minutes of the second half. The scrum one against the head there. Clark nearly going in minutes earlier, but no mistake that time. This kick, he'll put Tulkea back in the lead just by 1 point. Just trailing by one at present. Very good kick of this Parker. This Fletcher, I should say. Very good kick, good kick of this Fletcher, and an important one now. Just outside the 25, so about 35 yards, probably with the angle. The crowd going very quiet. It's going to the left. No goal. So 15 points to KR, 16 to Saints, and 17 minutes of the game remaining. Very dull here at Craven Park. The lights are on, but it's still very dark. Obviously the crowd are going to get behind the old KR outfit. Plenty of Saints support here as well, so no doubt the Saints supporters will be getting behind our team as well. And Neil Holding kicks off. Taken by try scorer Gary Clark, brought down midfielder, trying to run crossfield instead of straight. On to number 12, Ryan. Saints have to hold him down there in their own 25. Gordon Smith bringing it left. Quick play the ball from OKR. OKR the ball coming back to George Fairburn. Little chip kick from George Fairburn. Neil Holding sees it. Gathers it safely. Fairburn comes up, completes the tackle. The Saints in possession. Onto Haggerty. Off one. Straightening up Haggerty, looking for support. Bang down midfield, just short of the KR 25. Took a knock there in the tackle, but to Groves. Onto Jonathan Neal, coming from deep. Just gets into the old KR 25 now. Groves again, quick play the ball onto Neil Holding. Tony Burke coming from deep. Chris Burton tries a shoulder charge, temporarily stops him. And is finally brought down 5 yards inside the 25. Beavers up at the acting half-back. Onto holding, crossfield to Groves. Somebody will have to straighten up here. Andy Platt under the tackle, going for the line. Brought down 5 yards short. It's the last tackle for Saints. Over to the right. Loughlin, inside pass. Played by the OKR man. Saints with another 6 tackles if he gets it. No, the OKR man drops on. I thought that would have been a knock on. As it looks as though the KR man knocked it down, but not ruled so by referee Whitfield. Chris Burton now. Brought down on the 25. Roy Haggerty quickly in there at the tackle. Gordon Smith onto Emma, coming from deep. Taken down by Jonathan Neal. Tony Burke in support. Quick break from the play of the ball from Hull KR. It's the last tackle now for KR. The ball back to Fairburn. Bad kick from Fairburn. The ball, instead of going upfield, bounces and goes into touch on the halfway line. Not what he wanted, but at least, as has just been said to me behind, we haven't won the last 2 scrums. That is correct. So obviously OKR hopeful of hooking the ball. Well, another one against the head with Cooper. Cooper going back to the scrum half position there. But another one going against the head. OKR with all the possession in this second half. Well, he's still going, that man. Mike Fletcher, I think it is, going through. It's OKR with the tails up now. Gordon Smith, lofted pass to David Watkinson. Going down in the tackle. Finally completed. Shane Cooper brings him down. Gary Clark acting halfback, going on his own. Drove Jonathan Neal and Cooper. Bring him down. Well, Clark injured in the tackle. Plays the ball to Rudd, and plays it left to Gordon Smith. Mike Smith, the ball going left. Forward pass again, allowed to go on. The ball with Steve Smith on the left wing for Hull. Well, unbelievable, these forward passes he's let go today. The ball going dead. Finally knocked dead by Phil Weaver, who's just got a hand to it. An awkward bounce, so it's going to be a line drop out. Saints forced to kick out from right between their own sticks. Still holding on to a slender 1-point lead. 16 points to 15. OKR putting the pressure back on the Saints outfit now as Phil Weavers drops out from between his own sticks. Good kick, 50-yard kick, gathered by George Fairburn. Gathers safely, drives forward. Tackle effected by Paul Groves, completed by Farber. Zukima now. Farber in again with Jonathan Neal. Rovers bringing it blindside. On to number 3 and goal scorer Fletcher. Roy Haggerty finally bounces into ground. Chris Rudd acting half-back for Rovers, spreading it left. Gordon Smith working the movement with Mike Smith. Finally bounced down on the 25. But it's Rovers putting all the pressure on the Saints now. Rovers coming away from the acting half-back positions. Number 4, Mortimer. Peter Mortimer. Last tackle now for Rovers. Well, it's going to be all on again, or is he going to rule the last tackle? No, he's wiped him off. And you can't weigh him up. If it directly kicked at the opposition, some weigh him off, but Rovers with another 6 tackles to try and make it count. Mike Smith, inside ball there to David Watkinson. Going for the try line. Saints under a lot of pressure at present. Will they crack? Gordon Smith on to Peter Mortimer. Beats one, but Quirk comes in field. Is it Quirk? No, Mark Elia that time. Rovers again on to Zukima. Powering for the line. No, it was Quirk, I beg your pardon that time. Gordon Smith again now, they're spreading it onto Mike Smith. Straightening up, going for the line. Rovers getting a little bit bundled up here. Mike Smith gathers it. Is it over? Yes. Mike Smith does well there. 29 minutes in the second half. Rovers regain the lead. Mike Smith number 3, right centre Fletcher, with a kick similar to the one he just missed. So let's hope he's just as successful this time, so it'll just keep the score down. But Saints just going on the wrong end of the score there, 19 points to 16, and Fletcher lining up. Yes, gets it right this time. So 21 points to 16 now. Hull KR in the lead, 10 minutes of the game remaining. A real seesaw game.
Coach drivers, please return to their coaches immediately. Lieutenant Helens, coach drivers, please
So
return to
Hull KR now with a 5-point cushion. That's individual effort from Mike Smith. Super there from Saints from the kick-off. Awkward bounce, and the ball going into touch. As it's a scrum down 20 yards from the Hull KR line. Neil holding back at scrum half. No, it's Hull KR. Well, Saints win one against the head there. Beavers linking up, looking for straighten up. Onto Elia. Picks it back up to Shane Cooper. Inside to Beavers. Back to Cooper. Lofted pass to McCormick. And he going for his hat-trick today. But Saints there, winning one against the head. Saints still in possession, bringing it left. Neil holding, short ball onto Roy Haggerty. Midfield. Groves onto Holding. Change of direction, inside to Beavers. Short ball to Elia. Beats one, Elia still going, flicks it back up, Beavers gathers it. Saints still going forward, brought down midfield, but still 20 yards out, but it's touched a Hull KR player. So it's another 6 tackles for the Saints to make it count. Haggerty off one, flicks it out to Farber. Andy Platt coming through there from deep. Solid Hull KR tackling. Burton brings him down that time. Tony Burke acting half-back. Going on his own, Tony Burke. Wants to play it quickly. Sense of urgency from Saints now, wants to get back in the lead. Quick ball there. Neil Holding. Back to Andy Platt. Lofted pass over to Roy Haggerty. Short ball to Beavers. Looking for the reverse pass to Elia. Is he in? No, Hull KR man has the ball. Hull KR on the break now. And a real good ball, seesaw game. But Saints penalised her. Mark Elia going over, we thought for a try, lost the ball. And Hull KR being awarded a penalty for Saints player allegedly tripping. So Hull KR with a 21 points to 16 lead. Just 8 minutes of the game remaining. Saints with it all to do. They came back well in the first 14 minutes. 2 tries from McCormick, a Paul Loughlin goal, giving them a 16 points to 11 lead. But Hull KR hitting back with a 22nd minute Clark try, a 29th minute Mike Smith individual try, converted by Fletcher. So Hull KR in the lead at 21-16. Groves from acting, plays it to himself and goes away. Tony Burke, acting half-back, Saints spreading it left. Neil Holding onto Andy Platt, but the ball being knocked on. Mike Smith picks it up, plays the ball. Zukima in possession. Holding bangs him down just inside the KR half. Chris Rudd coming away, Holding again. Jonathan Neal up with him. Zukima acting half-back, taking it left to Gordon Smith. Across left to substitute David Watkinson, veteran campaigner just in his testimonial season here at Hull KR. But Gordon Smith coming away. Good game here, as we said, seesawing from one way to the other. Chris Burton coming through, Holding again. Super tackle from Holding with Paul Farber in support. Last tackle now for Hull KR. Back to Wayne Parker. Grubbers for touch. Les Quirk keeps it in with his foot. Gathers the ball, goes crossfield, beats one. Straightens up Les Quirk. Juggles with the ball, but successfully holds it.
message for the St. Helens fans who travel by coach. Your coach
Tony Burke now. On to Andy Platt. Straightens up, looking for the break. Oh, Lockley. Crossfield. Somebody will have to straighten up now. Quick hands. Beavers. Lofted past to Quirk. Takes it well. Just slowed him down, but takes it well. Keeps in field, Quirk. Solid tackling from Clark there. And number 12, Ryan. Saints just can't penetrate this OKR outfit. Quick hands there. Beavers. On to Andy Platt. Good ball to Loughlin. On to McCormick. Can't gather it. Bounces off his chest. Kicks it forward. Loose ball there. Can Loughlin... Can Loughlin pick it up, but the original knock-on being ruled as there was no advantage to the whole KR. No, it's number 5, I beg your pardon. Steve Smith coming in midfield. Gordon Smith now. George Fairburn there, linking up. Phil Beavers completes the tackle. No, referee Whitfield ruling all on. Fairburn still going through. So KR putting all the stops out now to get another try and kill off the Saints. Well, there it is. Number 3 there, Fletcher. Surely that's it now. Over for a try in the corner. So Fletcher now trying to convert his own try. 24 points to 16 at present, 25 points to 16 at present, I should say. Fletcher now, similar position to the last one. No, takes it to the right of the upright. So 25 points to 16, 9 points. Surely beyond Saints' reach now. Only 2 minutes of the game remaining. Only 2 minutes of the game remaining now, and a 9-point cushion for OKR. So Saints kick off, Watkinson gathers. Quirk quickly in there, Groves comes in to help. Well, OKR coming back in the second half of the second half, the last 20 minutes, putting Saints through with through some terrifying tackling stints. Saints come up with the ball there. Haggerty inside to Neil Holding, lofted pass to Loughlin, and to Kevin McCormick. Can he go in for his hat-trick? Going in for the corner? No, just brought down short. Saints putting late pressure on now. Holding, quick ball needed there. Long Farmer coming away, straightening up, driving for the line. Just 15 yards short. Groves wants a quick play the ball onto Beavers, linking up. Lofted pass to Haggerty, can't gather it. As I was saying, in this last 20 minutes of the second half, tries for KR from Clark, Mike Smith and Fletcher, with one Fletcher conversion. After Saints coming out in the first 20 minutes, 2 McCormick tries and a Loughlin goal. But KR come away with the ball again. Really cleaned up with scrum possession in this second half. 7-3, I make it. Winning 3, 7.
How many? What? 7-3 scrums.
With OKR winning 3 on the trot against the Head. But time running out now for Saints, all on the 40 minutes. And 25 points to 16 in KR's favour. KR on the burst again. Fletcher inside pass to Mike Smith. Inside again to Parker. On to number 12, Ryan. Well, looking for the finale. They're still putting the pressure on Saints. Wayne Parker going for the line now. 50-yard move from KR there. And there's the final hooter. So Hull KR running out winners by 25 points to 16. Saints points coming from Mark Elia try, 2 Kevin McCormick tries and 2 Paul Loughlin goals. Unfortunately, Saints going the wrong results, the wrong end of the scoreline. The first league action for 4 weeks, as we said, but both teams needed from points. Both teams are receiving innovation coming off, but obviously OK are delighted. OK are not going through the best of fortunes, as the other Hull team isn't lately, but springing back today, and Saints on the wrong end of the 25 points to 16 scoreline. Anyway, thanks once again for joining us. It's your Saints Rugby League action team, Brian Pears and Ron Hoof. So we hope to join you next week at Nosey Road for the home match versus Warrington. We can inject a little bit of pace into this Saints outfit. Not been much penetration at all, but holding straight there in the action as Saints come away from the scrum. Over to the left, Mark Elia now, diagonal run, showing his pace. Elia, can he get there? Brilliant try from Elia. Well, look at that, straight from the substitutions coming on. A scrum down right in front of us here, just inside the KR half. Taking it over to the left, Neil Holding brought it away, and Elia showing his class there. 33 minutes of the second half, and I beg your pardon, of the first half, and just what Saints needed. Mark Elia